I caught my fiancée cheating days before our wedding, so I exposed her at the altar and let her lose everything. I'm writing this with a glass of bourbon in my hand, sitting in the same apartment where I imagined starting my life with the woman I thought was the one. It's crazy how one day, just one day, can unravel years of planning, loving, and building a future. I'm 31, a software engineer from Colorado. My fiancée, ex-fiancée now, her name is Ashley. We met 3 years ago through mutual friends at a 4th of July barbecue. She was smart, funny, had this magnetic energy that could light up a room. We clicked instantly. After a year of dating, we moved in together. A year later, I proposed during a trip to Lake Tahoe. Everything felt perfect, or at least that's what I thought. Our wedding was set for a Saturday in May. Beautiful ranch venue, close family and friends flying in from across the country, months of planning, and tens of thousands spent. I thought I'd done everything right. Flowers, food, music, even learned a stupid dance she loved from TikTok. Then came Friday, the day before the wedding. I was out with my best man, Marcus, grabbing some last-minute things for the big day when I got a weird message on Instagram from a guy I didn't know. His name was Dylan. "Hey man, I'm really sorry to do this, but are you getting married to Ashley tomorrow?" I replied yes, cautiously. Red flag, right? I think you should know something. I didn't know she was engaged until last night. I met her on Hinge 2 weeks ago. We've been hooking up. I didn't believe it until I saw her wedding photos on her IG. He sent screenshots, chats, selfies, even a short video of her in his apartment. Her voice, her laugh. The timestamps were recent. Too recent. She was sleeping with this guy the same week we were doing cake tastings and finalizing the guest list. My heart dropped. I couldn't breathe. Marcus saw my face and asked if someone died. In a way, someone had. The woman I loved died in my mind right then. I didn't confront her immediately. I didn't even cry. I just shut down. Numb. Cold. But something in me, something petty, something vindictive, clicked on. Maybe it was survival. Maybe it was pride. But I wasn't going to just cancel everything and let her walk away. No, I was going to make her feel it. That night, I printed every screenshot Dylan sent. I called my lawyer. Thank God I had asked Ashley to sign a prenup a few months ago, just to protect my house and savings from before we met. She'd laughed at it then. Sure, whatever helps you sleep, she'd said. I told him to prep the document for her signature the next day. He was confused, but I told him I'd explain later. Then, Saturday morning, the wedding day, I acted like everything was normal. Flowers arrived. Guests came. Music played. Ashley was glowing in her dress, smiling like the happiest woman alive. She looked beautiful, radiant, a perfect bride. She didn't know that every groomsman had a copy of the evidence in their jacket, that every bridesmaid knew, that even the officiant had been briefed. She didn't know the storm that was coming, but I wanted her to enjoy the calm, because I wasn't stopping the wedding. I was letting it happen, just not the way she thought it would. The morning of the wedding, I felt calm, almost too calm. People say you'll be nervous on your wedding day, but I wasn't. I had already made peace with what was about to happen. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't want to ruin their morning. I let them believe their son was about to start a beautiful chapter in life. My mom looked so proud, so excited. That part hurt. Ashley was in the bridal suite with her girls, laughing, sipping champagne, posting little behind-the-scenes clips to her Instagram story. You wouldn't think someone who had cheated twice in the last 3 weeks would have the audacity to act like the queen of romance. But Ashley? She was good at pretending. Too good. The venue was breathtaking, an open-air barn with flower arrangements everywhere, a white arch by a lake. It looked like something out of a Pinterest board. She had picked it all, of course. I just paid the invoices. About 80 guests sat in white chairs facing the arch. Most were friends, some family, co-workers. They all stood when the music started. Ashley came down the aisle with her dad, smiling, eyes locked on me like nothing in the world was wrong. I smiled back. We did the whole ceremony. The vows. The ring exchange. The officiant asked if we wanted to say our own personal vows, and she went first. Talked about love, commitment, forever. She even cried. I kept mine short. When it was my turn, I looked her in the eye and said, "Ashley, I promise to always be honest with you. The kind of honesty you didn't show me when you were sleeping with someone else 2 weeks ago." The silence was deafening. People thought it was a joke. Nervous chuckles echoed through the crowd. Then I pulled out the folder from the best man's inside pocket and handed it to the officiant. "I was going to cancel this wedding yesterday," I continued. "But I figured if you were willing to lie to me, our families, and even yourself, you might as well go all the way and sign this prenup, too." I turned to the crowd. For those wondering, Ashley's been cheating on me with a guy named Dylan. Here are the screenshots, texts, and pictures. I sent them to a few of you last night in case you thought I was bluffing. Ashley's face went ghost white. She looked at me like she'd seen a demon. Her mom gasped. Her dad looked like he wanted to disappear into the ground. One of her bridesmaids dropped her bouquet. The officiant awkwardly stepped aside, holding the folder like it was radioactive. I continued. I still wanted you to sign the prenup, Ashley. Because I want you to know, this house, the savings, the business I started, you're not getting a cent. You get nothing from me except a ride back to reality. At that point, her voice finally cracked. Jason, please, don't do this here. Oh no, you did this. I'm just revealing it. I turned to the crowd. There won't be a reception, but feel free to stay, enjoy the food and the open bar. Celebrate truth, if nothing else. I walked off, just like that. As I left, Ashley ran after me. She begged, cried, tried to say it was a mistake. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just said one sentence. I believed you were my future, but you were my biggest lesson. Then I walked out of the venue, got in the car, drove away. I didn't feel victorious. Not yet. But I wasn't finished either. Revenge had just begun. The aftermath wasn't as cinematic as people might think. There were no dramatic scenes in the rain, no movie-like apologies that changed anything. Just a slow, painful unraveling, for her. I made sure of it. I stayed at Marcus's place for a few days after the wedding. My phone blew up. Family, friends, even a few of Ashley's bridesmaids who had no idea what she'd done. Messages ranged from "Are you okay?" to "Holy sh/T. I can't believe you pulled that off." Ashley, though, she called, texted, left voicemails crying, screaming, apologizing, bargaining. I didn't answer. Not once. But I did listen to a few of her voicemails, for evidence, mainly. In one, she said, Jason, please don't tell my job. I could lose everything. Bingo. See, what I didn't mention before was that Ashley worked in corporate PR for a fairly well-known marketing firm. Image meant everything in her world. Clean reputation, leadership, integrity. She even did a LinkedIn post a month ago about loyalty in relationships and the workplace. Yeah, irony. So I sent an anonymous email to her company's ethics committee. I attached screenshots, dates, and explained how she manipulated her public persona while sleeping around just days before her wedding. I never asked for her to get fired, just raising concern as a member of the community. They put her on indefinite leave while they investigated. She was eventually let go. That was step one. Step two? I posted my story, sanitized for public detail, on Reddit and LinkedIn. I didn't name her directly, but anyone from our circle would know exactly who I was talking about. It spread. A few friends commented vague support like, "So proud of you for standing up for yourself." That was enough to send a message. Ashley's entire social media presence went silent after that. She deleted her Instagram for a while. I heard through a mutual friend that she tried to move back in with her parents. They told her no. Her dad apparently told her, "You embarrassed this whole family. Figure it out." She was alone. For real. Dylan, the guy she cheated with, he ghosted her immediately after the wedding day chaos. Apparently, he had no idea she was engaged and wanted nothing to do with that mess. Shocking, right? Meanwhile, I started rebuilding. I took a solo trip to Alaska, something I always wanted to do but kept postponing for couples plans. Hiked, fished, unplugged. I came back 10 pounds lighter, mentally and emotionally. I got promoted a few months later, mostly because I finally started pouring all my energy into work again. And then one day, about 6 months after the non-wedding, I ran into Ashley at a coffee shop near downtown Denver. She looked tired. Not the kind of tired you get from lack of sleep, the kind that comes from losing everything you thought you controlled. She walked up slowly. "Jason, I know I'm the last person you want to see." I stayed quiet. She added, "I just wanted to say, I deserved everything. You didn't have to go that far, but I understand why you did." I nodded. Then she said, "You really loved me, didn't you?" I finally spoke. "I did. That's why it hurt so much. And that's why I let it hurt you back." She nodded, eyes wet, and walked away. I didn't feel angry, or proud, or anything sharp. Just closure. Because sometimes revenge isn't loud. Sometimes it's quiet, calm, poetic, just like karma. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.